Hello everybody and welcome to the Great Kaleidoscope series part 4. We learned how to crochet the squares in episode 1, how to crochet them together in episode 2, and made our beautiful poncho in episode 3. Now look at this absolutely gorgeous cardigan we are going to make. It's one of my favorites. I will show you in detail how to crochet the squares together. Look at the pretty design that happens when 6 squares come together under the arm. And with rows around 3 sides, you can customize how wide your cardi will be, and that includes a very simple but beautiful neckline. We'll crochet sleeves and make an easy 2-round single crochet final border. And this cardigan even looks pretty on the wrong side. The main color of my squares is ivory and the accent color is honey. Here's the hook and yarn information to make this large to extra large cardigan. Here's some of my measurements, and again you can adjust the sleeve length and the width to make the cardi perfect for you. We have 64 squares, 32 on each side. Let's crochet one side at a time. I have 16 squares right side up, and I will place 16 squares on top, wrong side up, so the right sides face each other inside. Then we can make our first seam up the front, around the shoulder, and down the back and crochet together 20 squares, 10 for the front and 10 for the back. I crocheted my 20 squares together, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Double check that your yarn is not twisted. You can fold it like an accordion if you want to transport it around the house. But I suggest leave it on the table because they do get twisted up easily. Then fold over 10 squares like this. And then fold over the other 10 carefully on top. So we have the right sides face each other inside again. And that will be the front and the back of the jacket. I'm double checking again that nothing's twisted. So that's the main part of the jacket. Here's the bottom. And here's the shoulder. Now let's work on the sleeve. We need 12 squares. We can put the main part aside and just work on the sleeve for now. I put 12 squares wrong side up. Now we can make 2 short seams and connect 8 squares here and 8 squares there. Leave your yarn a little bit longer, so at the end we can form a round sleeve with some slip stitches. I crocheted 8 squares together, the first seam and the second seam. And I made 2 single crochet into the corner spaces with 1 chain, and I just left the loop. Turn everything over to the right side, and now we can connect the sleeve. Fold it over. And here's my chain that I have on my hook, and I'm slip stitching into the next square into the first single crochet to form the round sleeve. And again down here, there's a chain. I slip stitch into the first single of the next square, and here's our sleeve. Now we can crochet the cardigan together on the side and attach the sleeve. We start on the bottom 2 corners, crochet those corners together, then make your slip stitches and crochet until you get under the arm, and I will show you how to crochet the underarm. I crocheted all the way up the side until I got to the underarm. I made 2 singles around the 2 chains. Now chain 1 and grab your sleeve. The first one is the sleeve, the second one is the main part. Put them right side together and make 2 single crochet around the corner spaces. So it's basically the same pattern that we already know. 2 singles into the chain spaces, and now you can crochet the squares together. Front loop, back loop, slip stitch, crochet 4 squares together in the front, go around the shoulder, and crochet the 4 squares together in the back. Let's take a closer look. I turned my jacket around so it's easier to work. I crocheted up one side around the shoulder and down the other side. Here's my sleeve. Now I made 2 single crochet into the 2 corner spaces. Chain 1 and then skip over to the other 2 squares on the side of the jacket. And grab the first single crochet out of the 2 that you made into the corner space and make a slip stitch into that first single crochet. And you can chain 1 and sew in your loose end. And while we're on this side of the cardigan, we can continue with the sleeve. So here's our sleeve. And you can make a seam, start right there on the side and crochet until you get under the arm again, and I will show you how to continue the seam to the middle of the cardigan. I started my seam on the edge of the sleeve. Remember, when we cross over another seam, we make 2 singles into the first space, chain 1, and make 2 singles into the second space. I crocheted all the way to under the arm. And here are my 2 squares that I still have to crochet together. Here are the 2 chain spaces, and I make 2 single crochet around 2 chain spaces, 1 and 2. Chain 1, and then we are crossing over to the main part of the jacket. We're grabbing the top 2 chains of the next squares and crochet those together with 2 singles, 1 and 2. And that's our underarm space. Crochet the seam from the underarm to the edge, and then we can do the same seam on this side, so flip everything over. And you can make the last seam from the edge to the underarm. Let's finish the underarm. I have my last 2 chain spaces here. Crochet around those. Chain 1, and then go to the other side and crochet into the first single crochet. Let's take a look. My first single crochet is hiding a little bit. It's right here. So here's the second one. Stop a check. Here's the second one, and here's the first one. I go into the first single crochet and make a slip stitch. And if you like, you can chain 1 and sew in your loose end. Now let's see how our underarm looks on the right side. There's a very beautiful, surprising design that happens on the right side. This is where 6 corners meet, and we get a very nice hexagon shape right in the middle. Here are our 6 corners, and I just love the way this looks. I think it's very beautiful. Now we have all of our vertical seams done. Let's do the horizontal ones. We have 2 short seams around the front and the back, and again around the front and the back, and then a longer seam on the sleeve here, and then the same one on the back here. So very easy seams. And then one on the shoulder I made from the outside going in towards the neckline, and I want to have a neckline here, so I left 3 stitches empty on the back and 3 stitches empty on the front. And I left a longer tail just in case I needed to change something. Now you can make your second part of the cardigan exactly the same way like the first one. Same stitches all the way around. Our seams are done, and we can turn our cardigan over to the right side, and it's always such a nice surprise how beautiful it looks on the right side. If you want to make your cardigan wider, you can add rows around 3 sides. We'll crochet down the front, around the bottom, and up the back, and then back and forth, and you can add as many rows as you like. I will start with the left side of the cardigan as I'm wearing it in the corner. So the right side is facing me, and I start right there in the corner with 2 double crochet. This is the left side of the jacket. As we're wearing it, it's right side out. This is the top corner. I made 2 doubles into that corner. You can either make a chain of 3 or standalone double as your first double, but make 2 doubles into the corner space. Then crochet 14 doubles into the previous 14 stitches of the little square. When we get to the spaces, make 2 trebles into the first space and 2 trebles into the second space. And those are treble crochets, so they straighten out that line right here. And I have a little cutaway here to show you how nice and straight the line looks when we make trebles into the chain spaces. So basically I'm making 14 stitches into the 14 stitches of the square, and then 2 trebles into each of the chain spaces on the side. And I go all the way down to the bottom corner, and again 2 trebles into each of the chain spaces, and then 14 doubles until I get to the corner, and I make my corner with 2 doubles, 3 chains and 2 doubles. Then I crochet along the bottom of the cardigan, same pattern, and make my second corner also with 2 doubles, 3 chains and 2 doubles. And then we can crochet up the back Now towards the end I want to create a little bit of a bigger neck space because it just feels more comfortable when we wear our cardigan. So right here is our last square. I made 2 trebles into the first chain space and 2 trebles into the second chain space. Then I made 14 treble crochet. So trebles all the way right here, and then also 2 trebles into the last corner space, and see how that creates a bigger space right here. That longer space with a treble crochet just gives us a more comfortable fit. And we can crochet the last 2 trebles into the corner space, so we have 20 trebles right here. And now we can chain 4 and turn our work over to the wrong side and make 20 trebles, including the chain of 4. So they go all the way right here where we made the previous treble right here. So those are 20 trebles again. And in this row, we only have to do double crochet for the rest of the row, because now we have a straight line, so we can just make doubles everywhere. And make 2 doubles, 3 chains and 2 doubles into the corner spaces. Everywhere else we have our doubles around the bottom. Second corner is 2 doubles, 3 chains and 2 doubles. And then crochet up the front. Now you can add as many rows as you like. I will make 1 more row. So I start again with a chain of 3. I turn my work over and I crochet on the right side, down the front, around the corner with 2 doubles, 3 chains and 2 doubles, around the bottom, into the second corner with 2 doubles, 3 chains and 2 doubles, and up the back. And at the end of the row, we will make our 20 trebles again, starting where the previous treble is right here. That's the last treble. We make 20 trebles. You can add more rows to make your jacket wider. I will stop right here at the 3rd row. On the right side of the cardigan as we're wearing it, I also want to start right side up, so I have to start in the back. And because we're on the back, we're starting with our 20 treble crochet, 20 trebles, and then double crochet, except for the chain spaces on the first row. We make the 2 trebles in each of the 2 chain spaces, crochet down the back, around the bottom and up the front, make your corners with 2 doubles, 3 chains and 2 doubles. Finish on the front with double crochet, then start row 2, chain 3, turn your work over to the wrong side, and this is the row with all double crochet in the corners with 2 doubles, 3 chains and 2 doubles. And then we make 20 trebles on the back again, then chain 4, turn your work over to the right side, and treble crochet 20, including the chain of 4. The rest is all doubles, and the corners are made with 2 doubles, 3 chains and 2 doubles, and we finish with double crochet. And you can repeat the same amount of rows that you had on the first part of the cardigan. Now let's do the sleeves. I started in the back of the cardigan and made 2 double crochet into both of my chain spaces, 2 doubles here and 2 doubles into the second chain space. This time we only make doubles. Then I made 14 doubles into the 14 stitches of the square, and then I made 2 doubles again into both of the chain spaces, and I repeated that pattern all the way around. So if you want to double check, we have 18 stitches from corner to corner. 18 times 4 is 72. We have 72 doubles all the way around. Pull your yarn through in between the first and the second post. Chain 2, and it counts as a back post double crochet right here. We skip 1 double and make a front post double and skip 1. And now we can start over again. Back post double, skip 1 and front post double, and skip 1. And again, back post double, skip 1 and front post double, and skip 1, and you can start over again. Back post double, skip 1, front post double, skip 1. The last stitch of the round is a front post double crochet, and then we have 1 double to skip right here, and here's our first double where we made the chain of 2 to replace the back post double. Now go around the chain of 2, slip stitch right through that, and we can start a new round again with a chain of 2. That's a back post double crochet. Now go to the next post, that's a front post double, and we make a front post double around that. The next post is a back post double, and we make a back post double around that. So we alternate between front post double and back post double, front post double around the front post, back post double around the back post. Alternate between front post and back post double crochet. And now you can make as many rounds as you like until your sleeve is long enough. We always finish with a front post double. Make our slip stitch into the chain space of 2 and start a new round with a chain of 2 and then alternate between front post and back post doubles. Now you can make as many rounds as you like. I will make 11 rounds with ivory, 1 round with honey, and then 1 more round of ivory. So to switch color, I pull the new color through the chain space and start the round with a chain of 2, and then I alternate between front post and back post doubles, and then on the last round I pull the ivory color through the chain space and make 1 more round with ivory. And we can crochet our second sleeve exactly the same way. Next is our back seam. Everything's wrong side up. We make 2 single crochet into the corner, then we slip stitch the front loops and back loops together, and towards the neckline we had the 20 treble crochet that we have to slip stitch together. Now I would like to make 2 final rounds with single crochet around the entire cardigan. I'll make the first round with honey and the second round with ivory. We'll start somewhere in the back of the cardigan. It's right side up, and we single crochet until we get to the corner, and then we can make 3 singles into the corner space. And then we single crochet up the front of the jacket until we get to the neckline. And here I am, close to the neckline. Single crochet. Then I have 2 doubles left, and I single crochet 2 into the second to last double, 1 and 2, and I single crochet 2 into the last double crochet, 1 and 2. So that will be our corner. Then you can turn your work, and here's the neckline. And I crochet around the posts of the double crochet, and I make 2 singles around the first post, 1 and 2. Then 2 singles around the next post, 1 and 2, and I made 3 rows around 3 sides, so I have 1 more post, 1 and 2 singles around each post. Now here's my chain space, and I single crochet 2 into the chain space. Here are the 3 stitches we left empty for the neckline, single crochet into both trebles. And now I want to single crochet 3 together into the double, into the seam, and into the double. Pull a loop through the double crochet, pull a loop through the seam, and I try to go underneath 2 pieces of yarn to get a secure stitch. And I pull a loop through the next double on the other side. I have 4 loops, pull through 4 loops, and we have a nice inside corner. Then we can crochet into the 2 trebles on this side, 1 and 2, and now we're on the back of the jacket, and I will crochet 3 singles around each of the posts. So here's our chain space. I will make 3 singles into that, then 3 singles into each of those treble crochet posts, 1, 2, 3, and I made 3 rows, so I have to do it 2 more times, 1, 2, 3 around the next post, and then around the next post 3 singles, 1, 2, 3. Then I single crochet into the seam, try to grab 2 pieces of yarn, go into the middle, and then we repeat the same stitches on the second side. So 3 singles around each of the posts. I have 3 posts, so I have to do that 3 times. 3 singles around the first post, 3 singles around the second post, and 3 singles around the third post. And here's the corner. I make 3 singles into that, 1, 2, 3. Here's how we're looking so far. Now we can repeat the same stitches that we did on the other side. 2 singles into the 2 trebles, 1 and 2, and then we will single crochet 3 together into the double, into the seam, and into the other double. Pull a loop through the first double, pull a loop through the seam, and on the other side pull a loop through the other double, pull through 4 loops. I can turn my work a little bit. We have our 2 trebles next. We make 2 singles into the 2 trebles, 1 and 2, 2 singles into the chain space, 1 and 2, and then 2 singles around each of the posts. I have 3 posts, so I have to make 2 singles 3 times. 1, 2, 1, 2, and the last time 1 and 2. On the other side we made 2 singles into the last stitch, and that's what I'm doing here. I go into the 3rd chain and I make 2 singles into the 3rd chain and 2 single crochet into the next double crochet, so we have the same amount of stitches on this side. 1 and 2 singles into the same stitch. And now we can make single crochet into each of the doubles of the previous round. Let's take a look. We have the outside corner and the inside corner. And here's how our neckline looks so far. We can crochet down the front of the cardi and make 3 single crochet into the corner, then single crochet on the bottom, and finish the round. Now in the last round I switched color and I used the ivory color and I single crocheted into all of the previous singles. Then when I got to the corner, remember we had the 3 singles in our corner. I made 3 single crochet into the 2nd single crochet. The important part is that your corner lies flat, so you can experiment with more or less stitches right here. Then I crocheted up the front towards the neckline. When I get to the neckline, I will pick 2 single crochet that look good to me, that form the corner right here. These 2 are good. And over there, I pick 2. Maybe those 2 are good, and I will double up in those 2 single crochet. So at the corner, I made 2 single crochet in those 2 singles. So 2 here and 2 here, just to make a nice corner. Then I single crochet to the seam. Now we will single crochet 3 together again. The one where we previously single crocheted 3 together with the one to the right and to the left of it. So we go to the one on the right, pull a loop, the one in the middle where we previously single crocheted 3 together, and the one to the left of it, pull a loop. We have 4 loops, pull through 4 loops, and then single crochet into all of the previous stitches until you get to the next corner, and then we can single crochet 3 together in the next inside corner. Crochet down the neckline and make the 2nd corner the same way. Single crochet 3 together, and then the outside corner. Remember, we made 2 singles into the 2 outermost singles, so 2 singles twice to get a nice outside corner, and then single crochet down the front. Before we continue, let's take a quick look at the finished neckline. Now there's not much left to do. We crochet down the front, and when we get to the corner, we make our 3 singles again into the 2nd single of the previous round and finish the bottom edge of the cardi. Which Kaleidoscope square project do you like best, the poncho or the cardigan, or maybe both? Well, I sure hope to see you next time when we do a fantastic project together again. Until then, bye-bye.